Imagine a bustling city, alive with jazz, vibrant culture, and history. But beneath the surface lurks a mystery that gripped the nation, a daring jailbreak from a New Orleans jail that left everyone questioning, was this truly a mistake? Or was it part of a grander plan? In the shadows of the Crescent City, a group of inmates pulled off what seemed like an impossible escape. Guards were caught off guard, alarms blared, and chaos ensued. But what if there's more to this story than meets the eye? What if this so-called escape was meticulously orchestrated? What if these inmates had inside help? Did they stumble upon a hidden exit in a careless oversight, or was this a calculated attempt to reclaim their freedom? Join us as we peel back the layers of this astonishing tale. We'll explore the intricate web, alliances, the motivations behind each escapee, and the secrets that may linger within the jail's walls. Can a mistake lead to a brilliant conspiracy? Stay tuned, because the truth is often stranger than fiction, and what we uncover today might just change everything you think you know about this infamous New Orleans jailbreak.
Well, the search is ongoing for a group of inmates who escaped from a jail in the heart of New Orleans.
Welcome back to the Guardian File, where we dive into the wildest stories this world has to offer. Today, we've got a tale that sounds like it's straight out of an action movie.
Take a seat.
After years and years, you carry out your ghastly crime.
Perhaps not.
What the hell is that? So forward!
We accept this real life. Buckle up, because this is the story of 10 inmates who decided to clock out early from the Orleans Justice Center in New Orleans.
They were able to break, that was around 12:23 a.m. They were able to break open a door. There was a corrections monitoring technician in the pod module.
Spoiler alert, it did not end as smoothly as they planned. Let's get into it.
The sheriff says deputies discovered the men were missing during a routine head count.
And based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies, scaling a wall, and running across the interstate.
Picture this, a group of inmates, their minds whirring like the most devious plotting masterminds.
You're going to have to pay me $1 million. Sorry. $100 billion.
Gentlemen.
With nothing but time on their hands and maybe a little too much imagination,
I've been in prison too long. My imagination is running away with itself. I see it. And I'm sure you guys do too.
They devise a plan worthy of a Hollywood script. It all kicks off on May 16th, 2025. 10 inmates decide that serving time is overrated, and they're about to have a field day with their great escape. They've been locked up long enough to know the ins and outs of their prison. And guess what they find? A little hole behind the toilet. Yeah.
These photos released by New Orleans officials show inside the cell where they say 10 men escaped, prompting an intense search. Authorities announcing some of the escapees have been captured. Photos show a dislodged toilet inside one of the cells and the words "too easy" scribbled above, pointing to a hole where the inmates are believed to have escaped.
Toilet. Yes, you heard that right. A toilet. If the world needs more prison escape experts, it's time to send these guys a resume, because they just innovated the plumbing escape route. Now, armed with nothing but determination and an unfortunate amount of structural failure from their facility, our 10 daring escapees make their move. They crawl through the poetic and not at all convenient sanitary route straight into freedom. They eventually find themselves at the loading dock, because apparently residential plumbing also leads to logistics. Who needs GPS when you can just follow the sewer system? These inmates must have watched one too many action flicks. Let's pause for a moment, folks. How does one exploit a toilet to orchestrate a mass escape without the alarms ringing? Are we really that surprised by the lack of security in a prison housing 10 murderers? I mean, come on, this isn't a case of finders keepers. This is straight up toilet justice. They used blankets to shield themselves from barbed wire and climbed over the perimeter wall like they were in some gravity-defying stunt show. This is where inmates outperform parkour enthusiasts. They could teach a masterclass in how to escape. May I suggest they bring in a good lawyer next time too? But here's the kicker, folks. A couple of days later, they realized that freedom is a two-way street. Out of the 10, 3 were caught pretty quickly.
Yeah, quote, 3 down, 7 to go. Lock them up. State police captured Robert Moody, Kendall Miles, and DeKeenan Dennis, and today used a helicopter to bring them to another Louisiana prison.
Our number one mission, despite anything else right now, is to get these people in custody.
And what about our friend Derek Groves? You know, a convicted murderer.
At least one family is in hiding. Escapee Derek Groves was convicted of killing 2 men on Mardi Gras 7 years ago. We talked with family members of one of those men, and they're stuck wondering how this happened, why they didn't find out sooner, and what they can possibly do next. Here's Rachel Hanley.
Wednesday, Jamar Robinson's family celebrated his birthday.
Love you, miss you.
2 days later, they were in hiding after finding out that the man convicted of his murder had escaped from prison.
Just get all our family members out of the city. We had to get everyone out of the city. Didn't know where we was going, crying, devastated.
2 of Robinson's family members spoke with us over the phone. They asked not to be named for their safety. Robinson and another man, Byron Jackson, were shot and killed on Mardi Gras in 2018. Derek Groves was arrested for their murders. Late Friday morning, someone they knew called the family and told them that a group of inmates had broken out of Orleans Justice Center. Groves was one of them.
No one notified us. No one tell us anything. You know, we had to leave work. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know how Derek Groves felt like with this process of us. You know, either he was coming for us. We didn't know.
They say they went to a nearby police station and 2 officers escorted them home. They grabbed what they could, got the family's young kids, including Robinson's son, from school. Then they left. By that time, Groves had been out for hours.
We just didn't know what to do at that point. And I'm so angry with the Orleans Parish Prison because it's like, when I look at the news, I see the boys pulling on the door. Like, this prison was just recently built. And you mean to tell me the doors was that easy to pull apart?
And this is a family that was already exhausted.
Maybe next time he should reconsider taking the scenic route.
They were able to break, that was around 12:23 a.m. They were able to break open a door. There was a corrections monitoring technician in the pod module to be watching that. They were still able to exit the jail about 1:01 a.m. after breaching a wall behind a toilet in the jail. And based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies, scaling a wall, and running across the interstate shortly thereafter. We have indication that these detainees received assistance in their escape from individuals inside of our department, and the escape was discovered during a routine head count at 8:30 a.m. this morning. We do acknowledge there is no way people can get out of this facility without there being some type of lapse in security. There's no way. It's almost impossible, not completely, but almost impossible for anybody to get out of this facility without help from the outside. We intend to find out exactly what. There are deficiencies in these facilities that cause public safety concern. I need to confirm that Kendall Miles is in custody. He is being rebooked for simple escape as well. OPSO deputies found him hiding beneath the car at the Hotel Monteleone parking garage, and he was transported to OJC by the Louisiana State Police. We also need to acknowledge that Keith Lewis, who was previously reported as an escaped detainee, was in a different cell. So he had been moved, but it had not been updated. So he is not on the run. There were 10, not 11, and he is in our facility and did not try to escape. The remaining individuals are being actively pursued, and our deputies, in collaboration with local and state law enforcement, are working tirelessly to locate and return them to custody.